Madonna to everybody. Welcome to Pure Finds, the podcast where four awesome guys talk about four awesome albums. I'm Chris.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Cody.
Kyle.
Yes, and we're all at the table once again to discuss all the coolest albums that were ever released. One rule we have at the table, no Nickelback. Officially.
Found that out the hard way.
Fuck that fucking band. I'm gonna kill him.
Look at this photograph. It's my middle finger. It's for you, Nickelback.
No.
Well, the way we do things on the podcast is we go by whoever has the earliest date of the four albums. They go first, and then we go in synchronicity with the albums, the years that they came out.
We time travel.
We travel in between to the inner dimensions.
Dimension of sight.
Genres.
Dimension of sound.
Travel.
Yeah. Submit for your approval.
We take a walk down memory lane through albums.
Who's got the earliest?
Me.
Kyle, what do you got?
I
dude?
do, and I have "The Stranger" by Billy Joel. This.
Sorry.
Not a big Joel fan?
I like Billy Joel.
Only 80s Joel.
I didn't just find this. I purely found this record here. Hold on. While
You in a trash can?
Hold on.
Is it in there?
It wants to come out.
Oh,
Hold on.
wow.
It's used toilet paper.
Oh,
wow.
no.
I knew that the boys would have a funny feeling about this here.
And it's yeah.
I found it in the
So-
back of my boss's vehicle today.
So we
actually.
got two pieces.
Oh, I
Just
dropped
let
some
the
vinyl.
audience
Hold on.
know he pulled out 2 pieces of an album.
Yeah, it's
Make
like
that three.
Wait, 3 pieces.
three. It's not a two-parter or anything. It's
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
For
That's-
some reason, I feel like it'll serve a better purpose this way.
some nice decor.
Can you play that still?
I don't think you can. No, I think it'll go.
Well, I mean, if you tape one side, I don't know. Maybe
It
No,
actually
there's-
sounds exactly the same, believe it or not.
Have you heard the expression of
I go on.
broken record?
Sorry,
Broken record.
Well, you know, I thought about that as I was chilling, listening to some of the songs on a jukebox at the bar before I got here, and I was just like, man, you know, I wish I could have listened to this before the cast today. You know, I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Never listened to the record myself as a record. I've of course heard the hits. Everyone's heard the hits. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute, but you know, it was a little bit bummed out. Like, you know, my fat ass boss can't take care of shit, and he just throws a fucking record in the back of his vehicle, and
you can now
everything
melt
else,
it down and make one of those little half bowls. Out
Yeah,
of
I've seen those.
Yeah.
But man, that is seriously a bummer. Like he wasn't even was he pissed that? It's
Well,
like
no,
that?
he has like a double or two, I think, so it's no big deal. But
big deal to him.
it was a big deal to me. I actually wanted to hear it. The record itself, it like from the cover and knowing what songs are on the album, I was actually a little bit excited to listen to it. So.
It does make me sad because it looks in good condition from here,
Yeah, it
other
does.
than the
Not
fact that it was
scratched
broken.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
well, I
looks
think
perfect.
he was drunk one time within
Just
the
shattered.
past like week or two. He just threw shit on top of it.
And, yeah, it looks
kinda-
like he never even played it.
I
pretty
kind of
warped.
yeah, it was a gift to him, but of
okay.
course, like, you know, he already had it, so he didn't really care. He just left
Right.
it in the back, and I had kept asking him for the record for a while, and you know, nothing. Like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't give it to me. I'll give it to you this time. I'll give it to you that time. When I got my hands on it, I already knew it was fucked. I just had to open it though, just
Because
to
he
see
pulls
the
out
damage.
his
Well, he
collection
didn't
of
have
bricks
to.
on top of
he
it.
didn't have to. He didn't have to pull out or nothing. He was on break, so like when he pulled up the hatch, and I went in there to reach out for the record. You know, I reach out for the record, and you know, I can feel that there's something wrong. You know what I mean? Like
This feels a bit like a cereal bag.
exactly. So
Or
I
even
was
like when you get a candy bar and it's broken, it's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not
Like the
taking
Kit Kat that's
Yeah.
already been catted.
the granola bars.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ.
the crumbs glued together.
It's pretty much a fuck story.
It's
you know?
sad.
Yeah, it is, but not too much because there are at least half of the crew, if not 3/4 of us, that do not like Billy Joel. So.
This one's called The Stranger. This
The
album?
Stranger, yeah, it's actually a really
Stranger.
decent album. Side A, especially.
That's
It's
a solo move. The Stranger.
Yeah. Here, I'll let you guys, you know, look at
shit,
the
okay.
cover.
Okay.
You know,
Badass.
the
thank you.
album cover itself is.
I didn't know if that was all you had. I was like,
No.
is there a cover?
I had, yeah, of course.
There's all these Guidos on the
That's
back
the cool
here.
thing.
That
And
is crew.
what's funny about that? That's the end of side A. Actually, let's see here. The end of side A is scenes from an Italian restaurant, which I believe that is the backside of the album cover when you say Guido's. I thought it was also interesting how the man sitting down next to the guy looking at the wine bottle there has right above him his friend's New York Yankees emblem as bunny ears, or if you will, Satan horns, which I thought was really cool. While observing the back of the record, I thought it was like, haha, look at him, he's got things poking out from his head. But overall, you got Billy Joel sitting at the side there, looking all. I think he's wearing mascara, and then there's like other guys standing around. They all pretty much look like they're Italian. Anyways,
This is a great album.
I like the back. The back is really cool. The front's kind of.
I was talking about
what
the
have
sound.
you.
It's
song.
kind of sad.
No, yeah, the songs on the record are great. They're great songs.
It's even better because it doesn't have Piano Man on it.
there it is. Yeah, I knew it would come to this.
It's Billy Joel. It had to happen.
I knew it would come to this. Billy Joel is he's an artist, that's for sure, and he's a well-renowned artist. The Stranger was Billy Joel's 5th studio album, recorded September 29th, released September 29th, 1977. It was his very first true studio breakthrough. Like, it was, instead of like trying to come up with a bunch of songs to make, like he had a bunch of songs that he wanted to put down.
Nice.
And had to go through a bunch of different guitarists and went through I believe it was the Beatles producer George Martin. He tried to work with him, didn't work out though. George Martin wasn't cool with the players that he had on the record. So he went to Phil Ramone, who understood what they wanted as a group and what they needed, and of course there are a couple different studio guitarists on the record, but it's a great record. I mean, it had a bunch of hits. Side A itself is #1 hit songs on the album charts.
Was he already well established as a famous artist before this album?
Absolutely.
But
I
this
mean,
was
he already
like
had
the big,
yeah,
like-
this one was kind of big, as versus all the rest. I mean, the rest of the records that he had put out already were really good.
Yeah.
Had some hits
But
here
this
and there.
really, like,
This one had
solidified
a
him.
fuckload of hits, man. It was pretty
Yeah, I'm reading them right now, man.
yeah. Just the Way You Are, hit #3. Moving Out was 17. Only the Good Die Young,
I
which
like
is
that
on
one.
side B. Yeah, me too. It's like my little guilty pleasure listening to that song.
I
love
like
that
Moving
song.
Out.
Moving
Out's great.
I didn't know.
It's a
it
great,
was on here. That's cool.
great fucking album. Like, I was
Fuck
surprised
yeah.
to see how many of like the hits were actually on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
They're yeah, it's a great record. It wasn't. I don't think he necessarily intended for there to be so many hits on the record.
Yeah.
And then bada bing, there it is. Like the Guidos on the back. So, anyways, She's Always a Woman is another one. Of course, Moving Out was at 17 as well. The song, I think it was Moving Out that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
It was actually a title given to a Broadway show that was based on Billy Joel's work. So
that's cool.
That's another thing that's interesting about the record. But overall, it hit 5 times platinum in Canada.
Whoa.
It was
Wait, 5 times platinum in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta think that's a little less than what it is, the standards in the States.
Right.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. It was diamond in the United States.
Hey. Yeah, take that.
It hit gold in the United Kingdom.
Wow. I didn't know he was a diamond artist.
Yeah. New Zealand hit
badass.
platinum, and let's see here. Japan hit gold, but
That's
who
still
gives a fuck about them?
Big record. That's a
Yeah.
big record. I mean, regardless, that's how many countries did you just name? And it's got
Plenty. I left out a couple that didn't, or at least one that didn't really make my list. But
Yeah.
I did the same for mine. It was some like random like West European country that it was like, how did this what?
Yeah, like
This album,
Kazakhstan.
this album beat out Simon and Garfunkel's "Troubled Water," which was actually also
Covered that on here?
No. It beat out that record.
Oh, it beat out
that
that
record
record.
was kind of like in competition at the time. And not necessarily competing for that, but like it was coming out.
It's like they're both really
came
big.
out around the same time, if not at the exact same time, and bam, you know, it beat them out
Nice.
on the album charts. So I mean, you know, which. I mean, it's fucking Billy Joel. You know what I
There were
mean?
probably
Simon and
nerds
Garfunkel has been there for a
everywhere.
while, but
Dividing lines between you're either a Simon and Garfunkel
No.
fan or you're a
Billy
Billy Joel.
Joel guy.
yeah.
And then some fucking metalhead comes up and beats the shit
Yeah,
out
that's
of
like
us.
what the easy listening wars.
This record is ranked.
You forgot about those.
This fucking record's ranked 70 on the Rolling Stones 500 greatest albums of all time.
Really?
Hey.
70?
70 is the number
Out of
that's ranked.
500?
Out of 500. Yeah, ain't bad, right?
I
Do we know of anybody like around them? Or
I didn't fucking
Yeah.
look that up,
I was about to
dude.
say,
just a random
I
thought.
drank some beers and then went and looked all this stuff up afterwards, man. Listen to some of the songs off the
Yeah.
record, off the jukebox. So like, I mean, like I said, I didn't listen to the record, and that sucks because like, you know, we're over here sitting here as a podcast of guys talking about, you know, album that we listened to. You know, I didn't
No.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all the songs, but I
Yeah.
never got to actually listen to it. So as an album, so like. I'm just giving you the pedigree. I was waiting for people to just talk shit at this point. You know, I know
Hey.
there's a lot of people that are not big fans of Billy Joel.
I said it earlier. I said it earlier. It's a fantastic album. I like Billy Joel. It's,
It's
just
considered-
I'm a little tired of hearing a piano man.
this album is considered his magnum opus.
Okay.
Is what I got off of
Cream of the
off
top.
line.
Yeah,
this
that
is
sounds
this is
like it.
the best of the best that you can get.
And that term was magnum opus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
I don't
Like
use.
I think
you're-
that's Latin. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like your
Opus?
highest achievement kind
Yeah.
of thing.
This is my magnum.
Yeah.
This is the
Kind
shit,
of like
man.
Magna Carta, maybe. I don't
no.
No, nothing
No.
like that.
Nothing. I mean, literally.
It's so-
It
words.
spent
Without Mega Man.
6 weeks. It spent 6 weeks as number 2 on
6
the
weeks.
U.S. album charts. So I mean, it was up there for a few weeks.
That's
He
like
never got
over-
number one though.
Never.
That's over a month.
I wonder who was beating him at the time. That would be a fun fact.
1977. I'm sure there was a lot
Plenty of good bands
Yeah.
to beat him.
bands out there. you know.
Yeah.
Zeppelin, yeah.
Zeppelin, The Who.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
I expected a little bit more shit slinging this cast. That's
you want
about
to talk
all I-
shit? I mean, Billy
Yeah, I was
Joel
like,
fucking sucks in my opinion.
Cody's
I
cock
can't
and
stand his
stocks.
fucking ass.
The Cody
But,
hatred half an hour.
Yeah, I
Go.
mean,
Hey,
there's just certain artists I can't stand to fucking listen to. Him and Bob Seger and I don't know.
Man,
There's a
I
lot
like
of other
Bob
people,
Seger, you know,
but,
but it's you know.
oh, you want me to talk shit? I'm bringing it to the fucking kitchen table, man.
Bring it to the bastard
Anyways,
table.
I give this to Cody. I'm gonna
cool.
Hand it over.
I need something to piss on later.
Yeah. So, I mean, speaking of piss, this mic. No, just kidding. A little, but
Yeah, we had a little lesson.
I think I'm gonna.
You were expecting some shit talking and you didn't get what you wanted out of me, did you?
I didn't, and I'm impressed. Chris doesn't do that, so I mean.
And
I
I
knew
just
that
had to
wasn't
come and ruin all immature and loud. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you guys time travel to modern times.
Beep boop, beep boop. Captain, we're off course.
It appears we're totally fucked.
Not of sight and sound, but of mind.
Chris, what do you got for us?
Alrighty, we're time traveling all the way to 1998.
It's a good goddamn year.
Yeah, it's like,
So you're in my truck.
it's the best damn year known to man.
All I remember is a lot of Britney Spears and NSYNC.
Right.
Baby. Now, this very far from Britney Spears came out 1998. I'm doing Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. Yeah, I didn't even know of Rob. This is like 98, the year it came out. I had no idea who the hell Rob Zombie is. I was listening to NSYNC and like Kiss, Queen, just like some new stuff, some old stuff.
Faggot. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. And I was like, I was pretty lame. I was like, I didn't get music, you know? I
It
didn't.
wasn't Nickelback, so you're good.
Yeah,
What I- what
you're
I-
okay.
No more exists.
Actually, now that I think about it, this year is very, very special because in 1998, that's when like I discovered like, wait, there's more music than what they show you on TV and on the radio. Like I learned like
Yeah.
there was music 40 years ago. When you're that young, it doesn't matter.
Just name them off,
What
bro.
were you,
This
8?
album that you got right here, I've seen the videos for, and I was around for like this. This was awesome times for me.
Yeah,
personally.
it's badass.
Did you discover this when you were what, 8?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you were listening to this when you were 8?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hellbilly Deluxe when it was brand new. The way I got to know about it was my brother.
Okay.
My brother is 3 years older than me. He bought the album. He bought the album, and I thought the album art was really, really cool because on the front cover you have the picture of Rob Zombie. He's got like the yellow eyes, like no pupils and shit. The green kind of like dreads, like he looks like a zombie with the X like carved in his forehead. It's badass, and it was like a little scary. So I was like, I want to listen. I want to see what this is. It's like watching a horror movie.
Am I gonna
it's
sleep
scary.
well
We
tonight
was
or not?
seeing- Yeah, this guy's like some like jacked up fucking Charles Manson, like looking down on
And
record
I was
vinyl.
just like,
let's
I
see
got a
this.
hair. So
Yeah.
it's like when my brother isn't paying attention and shit, I would like scoop the CD out of his room and put it in my player and listen. This album, it's called Hellbilly Deluxe, or 13 Tales of Cadaverous Cavorting Inside the Spook Show International.
Gotta love it when you have an artist who gives one main title, but also in parentheses, if you don't dig that, well, this is really what it is. I love
Strange
that.
Love style.
How I learned to love the bomb,
yes.
you know, kind of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
that's art right
It's
there.
it's a really cool title. I wanted to mention it because they're like Rob Zombie is a director now. We know.
Yeah.
He also after after I think the first White Zombie music video, after the I think first 2 they had, Rob Zombie started directing the music videos for White Zombie.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, the band he was in before doing this in 1998. In 1998, White Zombie splits up. Rob just comes out and says, "Hey, I'm gonna work on my own solo album and do my own thing now." And you can tell like he's a director now, and like through all the songs and like a lot of songs he does on any album, really, you can tell there's always that element of film. There's that element of like you have samples of or sound bites from really old movies that you probably never even heard of.
Yeah.
Even in his movies too, he'll add some old school like stuff in there,
Like
What-
Marx
what's-
Brothers and stuff.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
or like for example, his remake of Halloween. The stepdad that's about to get iced by Michael is watching the remake of The Thing.
Oh wow.
All right, or not the remake of The Thing, but the
original.
Thing from the Another World, the first story that is The Thing, and it ended up getting remade by John Carpenter. Well, what is he doing but remaking a John Carpenter film, which is one thing. He also helped out with the style for Beavis and Butthead Do America when Beavis and Butthead are both
In the
fucking
desert?
in the desert tripping. That video
I didn't
is
know that.
orchestrated by him.
That's badass, man.
You know, and
Tremendous artist.
yeah, he's great, man.
He's a fucking maverick. He's the epitome of maverick.
Dude,
right
the
here.
guy like remakes like Casey and the Sunshine Band songs and then puts a rapper in between the fucking, you know, yeah, dude, he's the shit, dude. Like he's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. So it's like I'm 8 years old listening to all this stuff, not knowing what the fuck any of it is. This was the first release after White Zombie. Like I said, it was produced by Rob Zombie himself and Scott Humphrey from the Chop Shop in California. Chop Shop is a music studio.
It's not a motorcycle
Nope.
bike shop.
Nope, not an actual chop shop.
or like a-
I think it's just for mixing and engineering.
Cool.
Mostly.
All right,
Tracks.
chop. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Scott
Nice play on
Humphrey.
words.
Humphrey, who works at Chop Shop. He's also worked with Motley Crue, Fuel, Powerman 5000, Andrew
Fuel.
WK,
Yeah.
and NSYNC.
Wow, I was not expecting
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah, that wasn't icing on the cake. That was more like somebody jizzed in the wrong direction.
I left it for they jizzed in one direction. They
On the cake.
yeah. I
Oh
was
man,
thinking-
don't eat the
no,
cake.
because I was
Don't eat
reading
the cake.
when I was like writing down the list. I was like, damn, this guy's worked with a lot of people. I saw NSYNC. I was like, well, I'm
Son
gonna
of
throw
a
them
bitch.
there. I was like, that's the ringer. Like, that's
Dude,
the
I
fucking
mean, it
ringer.
was just a ringer. You saved the worst for last.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what
saved the
the
worst
fuck?
for I sent you home with a frown and a full diaper.
Damn, dude. I'm
No
gonna go
ice
home and
cream
cry.
left. 3 singles came out for this album: Dragula, Living Dead Girl, and Super Beast. All 3 badass songs. Let me see here. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to skip to that part. My notes are so freaking fucked up, so I'm gonna go into the songs now with that. Call of the Zombie is the first track. That's Sherry. That's actually his wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, just doing a little what is it called? Like a fairy tale kind of rhyme, a nursery rhyme. She's doing a little nursery rhyme about like don't let the devil cut your head off. Better get in bed or something. She's using a really weird voice, and it was a really creepy way to start it out. This album, just from the get-go, it's like ecstasy metal, industrial. Just
That's really not. That's really a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's very electronic with a thundering bass, but also shredding guitars.
Yeah, one thing I want to say about this, and I mean just Rob Zombie in general, is like listen to these songs on this album. You totally see where he gets influence from Alice Cooper, like a lot.
Most
He's like
definitely.
heavily influenced by Alice Cooper. And it's awesome.
It's that show without a show. It's
Right.
that show in your mind where
Exactly,
instead
yeah.
of
Yeah,
like
you're making your own music video in
yeah,
your head.
exactly. Like you're like you're visualizing everything based off of the sounds and based off of the just everything that's going on around you. You close your eyes, you put the headphones on, bam, and you have yourself like a show, and you can and you're entertained, and that's absolutely, I agree.
Yep. So Call of the Zombie, that's Sherry Moon Zombie's little nursery rhyme at the very beginning. Then it goes right into Super Beast, which is just that thunder kind of track. I call it thunder track. It's just like just fast and goes into Dragula, one of the most popular song by
Yeah,
Rob Zombie.
everybody knows that song.
Yeah, slam in the back of my Dragula.
Yeah.
It was
I've heard
named
it
after
so-
the Munsters.
So many
the Munsters
times
vehicle.
have I heard that in my brother's fucking truck.
Yeah.
Both trucks. The Nissan that he used to drive, his fucking huge ass
there was,
pickup.
There was a remix of it on Twisted Metal 4.
Oh yeah.
The PlayStation game. There's
Yeah,
a remix
yeah.
of it.
He also used to. He still has a CD. The guy fucking still bumps that shit.
Yeah, you know the beginning where it says superstition, fear, and
Yeah,
jealousy.
Yeah.
That is actually from a British horror film, City of the Dead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where that sample is from. He uses tons
That's
of
cool,
those
man.
samples. I found a few of the samples, like origins, and I was like, I'm gonna share these because I've always wondered what the fuck they were
Yeah,
from.
no, yeah, I never knew it
Always.
either, and I never really was like,
Yeah.
I never got deep into it, but I was just like, that's cool stuff. Where's
Yeah.
it from? It sounds like some classic
Yeah,
film.
1960, City of the Dead. You'll hear that line at some point. Enjoy the movie.
What are some other ones?
So we go from Dragula, that was number 3, the most popular song, and it's badass. And then we go into Living Dead Girl. So you have all 3 of the singles, like right there back to back, beginning of the album. I think that's like the coolest idea in starting an album like that, having all your singles just like at the beginning, like here you go, here's the best, so it'll pump you up. Hopefully you'll stick around for the rest.
Depends on how you think about it, but keep going.
Yeah. Living Dead Girl, the name of it was inspired by the translation of a French film that was called Le Morte. This is hard, okay. Le Morte Vivante.
Hey.
In 1982, French movie, and it
That
translated.
was a
It
good-
translated.
That was
yeah,
a good
hey.
translation. That was
It translated to living the Living Dead Girl.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting. So not only that, it's like okay, so a 1982 film, he gets the name for the song from, and the intro to it. There's a little bit of doodle-doodle-doodle on the piano, and that is from the house on the last house on the left from 1972.
Oh, I know that one.
Yep.
It's been a long time since I've seen that, actually.
And then the iconic line, "Who's this insatiable creature with
Yeah.
that whole thing? He
Yeah,
has a love
yeah,
for
yeah.
the dead." And then it goes, "Living Dead Girl, Bennett." That was actually taken from, let me see here, I got the notes. The 1971 Italian film Lady Frankenstein. That was taken from. And then after Living Dead Girl, you have Perversion 99, Demonoid Phenomenon. That's a badass song. That's very, very, very heavy. If you're ever in a mood to just like punch people and shout and run around, that's the song to do it to. Spook Show Baby. It just goes on and on. Like all the songs are just really badass on this. What is it? At the Chop Shop during the recording of this album, Tommy Lee from Motley Crue, the drummer from Motley Crue, he was actually sleeping in the studio. He was kind of living there after drugs, cops, all sorts of shit. He was kind of living in the studio, so he actually put the drums down for the The Ballad of Resurrection Joe and Rosa Hoare, and Meet the Creeper. He's on those. He did the drums for those 2 songs on the
That's
album.
badass, dude. That's
Yep.
really, really cool info, man. Like,
Yeah, and-
Motley Crue fans, like,
Yeah, he was very excited about it, and he was just like, "Sure, I'm here." And when the album first came out, it was pretty much an immediate commercial success.
well, the first 3 songs, like you were saying on the
yeah.
record, that's why I was saying earlier, like when I said something about, well, it could be a good idea, maybe not. Like, it all depends on if you believe in like certain music. Me coming at this as an artist, not necessarily from any other point of view, not him, not anybody else, but just looking at it in the standpoint of, okay, these songs are really good. Where do I place them in an album?
Yeah.
Versus like the early 1960s and into the 70s, like not necessarily into the 70s, but early to mid 1960s, when you would want to place hits, you'd want to kind of spread them out so that the rest of the songs get played by the viewer or listener. I'm sorry, listener. So like when you hear them, you have to go through them so that you know the music, and then all of a sudden you know the artist, and then you pay for the artist. So like in a business standpoint, that could be actually a bad idea to put all of them as one, and then just be able to flip the needle and start it over, or flip the needle and turn off the record.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was and this obviously isn't a record; it's a CD.
Yeah,
But
it
it's
came out
still
CD.
done.
Yeah.
It's still done today. There's a lot of thought that
There's
goes
a
into
format,
placement.
isn't there?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's certain, I guess, ideas or methods or thoughts that you could say that kind of are around similar. But I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into choosing the
Song
track
placement.
listing
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that
I mean,
stuff. And
Cody will tell you, man, like when we were back in Kool-Aid years ago, I would try and track list things and give him a list of shit, and then he'd give me back a different list, and we'd kind of go back
figure
and forth.
it out.
Yeah. But I mean, and we were peons, nobodies, and nobody really heard our fucking music anyways. But I gave
did.
it out. I know you did. I got you guys. But I'm just saying, like, I'm one of those crazy bastards who like has been like so enthralled into it. I'm like fucking Robert De Niro from Casino. Like, I see how the floor is on the basketball courts, and I'm gonna bet on that fucking basketball team. It's like I'm a little bit fucking out there. So, with that said, sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. So this album was a commercial success.
It was.
Rob Zombie was very surprised because not a lot of solo. After you've been in a band and you do a solo album, not all the time is that successful.
That's
but
true, yeah.
but he felt, hey, we did a pretty good job. This album took 10 months to finish.
Wow.
To be done. 10 months.
That's a long fucking time.
seems about right.
yeah.
No, I mean that's a long time. I mean,
Compared-
That's almost a year.
Compared to some
that's
of
an
our
album.
older,
That's
like-
that's 10, 12 songs. Is that 10 songs?
It's 13.
13 songs. So like, yeah. So what I'm saying is like 13 songs in 10 months.
If it's backed by a
That's-
major label and they're really pushing it to be some sort of a commercial success, if there's a lot of, I mean, there's sound bites and samples everywhere. So, I mean,
right.
An album like
placed
that,
perfectly
yeah.
and edited.
And there's
well.
a lot of electronic.
Yeah,
a
an
lot
album
of
like
electronic.
that.
Of course.
So-
Yeah.
I mean, it's not uncommon now for albums to be recorded that take that long. I mean, we've
Right.
all talked about our older albums and stuff like that, and them taking week.
We,
or
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Or
a
even
long time.
days.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like sometimes they do take a lot longer than that.
Yeah, really good albums. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But he
that's
figured that his success was due to he didn't take a cheesy route when he decided to go solo. He's like, no, I'm not going to talk about like my feelings.
Well, I mean,
anything
the
like
work
that. He said-
shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was just like, we're just gonna hit it like we always have, and that's it. I'm just gonna write awesome lyrics, and we're gonna make this work.
Did anybody come with him from White Zombie to play with him for that?
I believe just his bassist. Yeah, the guitarist Riggs. I just watched Lethal Weapon too.
I think the bass
Mike
player
Riggs.
is it. Yeah.
Mike Riggs, the bass player came with him from White Zombie, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so he didn't do that. Upon release, Walmart refused to carry his album. So what he did,
Jesus.
he went ahead and he edited the cover of it so that they would be able to sell it in Walmart. And he's gone on record as saying the only reason he did that was because he knows that out there are some kids that can only shop at Walmart. They only get the chance to shop
And
at Walmart.
that's awesome.
And he was like, they want to hear good music too. He's like, I'll put them in there. It's like,
That's
fuck
awesome.
it. He said, like he's not above like that. You know, it's like, oh, don't ruin my art. He's just like, no, it's for the people. So
Right, fuck
he's gonna
the
let the
art.
people get it.
It's for the kids, man.
I read that
It
and I
is.
was like, damn, he's not a zombie. He has a heartbeat. not like the totally lame ones and that one zombie movie. Was it Warm Bodies? Fuck that shit.
Pussy ass hipster zombie movie.
Stupid. Zombies don't have hearts. They just want to eat your fucking soul, you dumb bitch. Anyway.
Never gonna stop it.
In the U.S., in the U.S., it went 3 times platinum. The UK, they sold 60,000 units, so it was certified silver.
Judgmental bastards.
Yeah, right.
Hello.
And in Canada, it was 2 times platinum. And that's all I got to say about one of the coolest albums ever.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, but it's like
Thanks for sharing
I just
that
think-
one, dude. That's
yeah.
good stuff.
It's like I was so happy to learn where the samples came from. I was so
Really, me too.
I was like, oh my god, it's done. And I remember that just opened my world of music was Rob Zombie. That's how I discovered Sabbath and stuff, you know, where it's like, wow, music is from before I was born too. Like, holy shit! And
I thought I started all this shit.
yeah, right. Like,
This started when I was born.
revolve around me.
yeah, right. That was the first shock value, but it was great. I'm glad.
Sucking thumb.
Thanks to my brother for buying that album so I could snatch it occasionally. It serves him fucking right. He stole my Queen's Greatest Hits when I was 9. He stole my Queen's Greatest
Collard green.
Queen's Greatest Hits, and I asked him like, "Hey man, have you seen that? Because I hadn't seen it in a few weeks." And he was like, "Oh no." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." 4 years later, motherfucker walks by me at just the right angle with his fucking headphones on. And I hear, because it must have been a quiet fucking day, because he walked by me at just the right moment, and I heard, "We are the champions." And I was like, "You fucker!" And I ripped the damn thing off. I got my CD back.
I hear this in the car every now and again when Chris is like kind of losing his edge. He's like, and then he took my CD and then I heard it and I pulled it out. And
Yeah, it's like I got violent once.
It's like listening to a World War II vet to retell the story over and over again.
One time I was opening a can of beans.
We'll just be 15 miles. Yeah, dude. I hear this story like
Barefoot,
that.
uphill, both
In the
ways,
snow.
in the snow.
Wait, time traveling? Time traveling?
All right, but we're closing off on the
The 1998.
the cavorting of what do they call carcasses or whatever. We're moving on.
Yeah, welcome to the 2000s, bitch.
Bitch.
Welcome to the new age.
The year 2000.
What a
All right,
fucking
so, yeah.
story this is gonna be.
I'm just going to cut right through this shit like a hot butter.
Good intro.
I'm doing Slightly Stupid, Acoustic Roots, live and direct. It's one of my favorite albums by them. This album kind of like shaped my high school years. Like, at least looking back on it now, I didn't realize it at the time when I was in high school.
Musically,
Yeah, like musically too, because, I mean, this whole album is just 2 dudes playing acoustic. One of them is a bass player, but he's also a sick-ass guitar player. Like, they're both insane guitar players. Like, they're...
no, you used to play Slightly Stupid stuff, then I'd play it with you back in
Yeah.
the day, and then I was like, dude, did you make that up? And it's like, no, it's a Slightly Stupid song, and I'm
Yeah,
over here
they-
jamming on the fucking
They wrote
bass
a lot
like
of
I
cool
wrote
songs,
it.
man. Like, they're really talented.
Yeah.
But this album came out March 16th, 2004. It was actually recorded in 2001.
Okay.
It was recorded at I'm not exactly sure now. I don't think it's even listed on here. Oh, they were at a radio station. That's where they recorded this album. All in one take too.
What?
It's
How
all
many
one-
songs is it?
Nice.
It's like 11 songs.
Damn.
I
I
think.
haven't heard.
No, 15 songs,
Jeez.
all in one take. Yep. I mean, and
we call
you can
that
tell.
talent.
Yeah, we call that talent here. But yeah, I mean, you can tell listening to it because it goes through. They finish the song and then they take a second to like drink a beer. And, like,
Take a drag
you
and just
hear the guys in the
2,
booth,
3,
you
4,
know,
dang, dang.
and they just keep going right into it, man.
That's badass.
nice.
And it's just two dudes on guitar.
Slightly Stupid. I haven't heard much from them
Oh,
personally.
they're
Oh,
awesome,
yeah,
man.
They
Like
are a cool group.
I
You groove to
actually,
them. Easy, Chris.
I hadn't listened to them in so long, and I went back like a few months ago, and I went back to this album, and it brought back so many memories of like, you know, hanging out in my friend's basement, you know, smoking drugs, like, marijuana.
Johnny.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend
Holly Brook
John
Nights.
is who got me into them. A little history lesson with these guys. They were first on the Cali scene in '94, so they've been around a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, they got noticed by Bradley Noel from Sublime, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And this is while they were still in high school. He found them, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to come play at this tavern place."
What?
That I
That's
get-
sick.
And then
Fuck
shortly
yeah.
after, he signed them to Skunk Records
Fuck yeah.
while they were still in high school.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
well,
Yeah.
think about it though too. I mean, you know, Sublime is a live group, and a lot of people don't realize that about that band. Like,
I
yeah,
mean, they
did
tried to
some-
play live.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, but they're a punk. They were a punk style.
Oh, yeah,
like,
of course.
ska type group,
Just
right?
that trumpet.
And,
Yeah.
and there's a big
Ska
story
punk
behind
reggae.
them. Maybe we'll do a cast on them eventually later on. But this is a deal. Like, you're talking about like some guys who have like the same kind of lifestyle, same kind of
Yeah.
feeling in music. You know, it
Well, I wouldn't
doesn't
say
surprise
lifestyle all the way, because Brad Noel was
Well,
smoking crack and doing all kinds of
and
crazy.
shooting
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
But dude, and so was the rest of the group. But
Well, I don't
dude,
know if. Sorry, I want to correct myself. I'm not 100%
I don't know
sure if
about
he smoked crack, but
he was
did.
definitely
Yeah,
on
he
dope.
was shooting up.
I
yeah.
know he was doing dope.
Is
But
that what
anyways,
killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
then,
this
yeah.
is, I mean, but this is,
What were
this
you
is
saying?
the bottom line before we get back to what you're talking about is like, you know, he saw potential in this group that was a chill style like musical group. They weren't necessarily that reggae, because you can't really call a bunch of white boys playing fucking reggae.
Unless
But I
you
mean, like
Soja.
it's like what you say. Yeah, it's like Scott Soja. What a joke, you know. But like for real, like, you know, he saw this group of kids who are talented, and he like it was like, yo, what's up?
Yeah,
but
I
if
think
you listen
they
to
kind
him,
of saw themselves. He saw a little bit of himself in
Sure.
them too. You know.
I mean, you've seen some of those documentaries of like Sublime playing, right? And like they're playing these shows, and
they're playing shows like what we used to play.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Little backyard shows.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the shows that they're playing, though, these shows are like, they don't sound like the record. When you
Right.
hear their recording
totally
of like
different.
"Summertime and the living's easy," like
Yeah.
that shit's not even close to how it was like recorded, but it's still part of the, like, people who respect it understand it and get by with it. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, like, anyways, back to what you're saying. Like, they are a lot alike. They are very similar. But back to Johnny Boy.
The one difference between those two bands is, I mean, Sublime was like, they got really successful more so after Noel died, or Noel, whatever. But Slightly Stupid, they've achieved some fame, but they don't really like it. Like, they like staying out of the limelight. Like, that's why they have their own recording studio now, Stoopid
Hey.
Records or something like that.
Right on. See?
It's
but-
cult.
and
That's
they-
respectable as
Yeah,
fuck.
and they don't do big shows. I mean, now they do a little more bigger shows. Like, they hit some festivals.
Okay, yeah.
They play at TMI Studios with Bob Weir. You know, they do stuff like that. They've really opened up as like a big band now.
Well, they can pick and choose
But-
now after
yeah,
enough success
but I mean,
from the,
Most of the time, they're playing club venues, man. They're like in Norfolk or like DC,
What?
stuff like that. Oh
so
yeah,
they're like, do they chill on the East Coast?
yeah.
Sure they do.
I saw them at Wolf Trap. Actually, back when I was in high school, and
Damn.
they were amazing, man.
Yeah.
They sounded just like their albums.
I've never seen them live, but
Yeah, they're great, man. If
You're
you ever get a
making me want
chance,
to check them out, man. You're
yeah,
making
we
me wanna
just
check
missed them
out.
actually. They were playing in VA
Fuck.
like a week or so ago.
Fuck.
hot.
But see, I've been holding
Wah,
out,
wah,
hoping
wah.
that they will do an acoustic show, because this album, Acoustic Roots, that I picked it's like the epitome of Slightly Stupid. It's like, it just shows off all their talents vocally and musically. You know, they do so much on this album with just 2 guitars. It's fucking insane. 6 strings alone too. Like there's no 12 strings, but it sounds amazing. And both of like their harmonies too with just these 2 guys is amazing. Who is Miles Doty? I don't know how to pronounce it. And Kyle McDonald. He's the bass player / guitar player. Okay. And he's actually playing lead on pretty much this whole album. But his bass work comes up in his lead too in a way to where he's soloing, but at the same time he's
still keeping rhythm.
He's keeping rhythm. He's picking the bass up along with the song. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, man. When you introduced me to him many years ago while we were in high school, and I was like, dude, the bass player's sick. And then you told me his name. I was like, whatever.
Yes, though. It's like it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sound talented as fuck.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much a power. They were a power trio back then. Now they have a shitload of members. Like they're
like 15.
Not that many.
Okay.
They're not like Casey and the Sunshine Band.
I was saying, like,
yo, don't talk shit, dude.
That's what I was talking about.
No, I got all that out of me with Billy Joel. But no, like these guys are just really talented, man, and they've played with so many people. They did a lot of shows with G Love and Special Sausage. That's who I saw him with. He's like a white rapper he's all right. He plays a pretty badass harmonica too. Like it's really bluesy.
I'm not a fan of G Love.
Yeah, me neither. Because every song is like, "Yo, girl, I was thinking blah blah fucking blah."
That's
like,
kind of the reason why.
Every song.
Yo, girl, I was thinking.
Sounds like
But-
it sounds like a like upperclassman, like college style like rapper type thing.
Pretty much.
Like,
I can occasionally dabble, but it's not a whole lot.
His old
of,
stuff is good. If you ever get a chance, check out the song "Pull the Wool." That is a great song. Really good. It's even sounds like an old '60s song the way it's recorded.
Right on.
But aside from G Love, yeah, man. Like I couldn't believe it that they only did this in one take. Like I figured they probably went through it once a few times, but no, they just went in and recorded this shit. I
the
mean,
talent there to do that is
On the album you can hear like the radio hosts like blah, blah, blah.
yeah. I mean, they're not they weren't like playing it live for the radio. They just recorded it at this radio station studio.
Okay.
But you hear the guys in the booth like applauding them and stuff after songs.
Yeah.
And then there's like little banter between the musicians, like in between and stuff.
That's badass.
Every song on here is so good, man. I mean, my choice nug from this fucking album is definitely Souled. That's spelled SOULED.
Oh, like soul.
Yeah.
And soul.
That song is it's so badass, man. Nice and bluesy. The backup vocals are good. Devil's Door, that's another good one. They did a couple. Yeah, they did a couple covers on here. Sorry. They did Sun is Shining by Bob Marley. Not really too hip on that song. But they did a Guns N' Roses cover on here. It was like one of the last songs on the album, and they were like running out of time and shit. And they were like, well, fuck, what are we going to play? And then you hear them on there. They're like, let's play some Guns N' Roses, dude. So they play I Used to Love Her by Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
And I love their version way more than Guns N' Roses. Like the lyrics are just so good too. Like I used to love her, but I had to kill her, and now she's buried in my backyard.
Yeah,
jeez.
It's cool.
It's good, man. It's a fun album, dude. Like I would recommend this to anyone. Another good song off here is Collie Man. That one got him pretty big too. It's a song about a weed dealer, but it's like a really sad and like inspirational song. It's really good. You probably wouldn't even if you listen to it before me saying it's about a weed dealer, you probably wouldn't even think of that, but that's just what it's what weed dealers are called sometimes, is a collie man.
Oh, okay.
Collie buds.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, these guys, in case you didn't notice or not, these guys heavily support the legalization of marijuana.
Nah.
Big time.
Bullshit. I don't believe it.
I mean, when I saw them, they were smoking on stage.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, badass.
Well, they're from California, so I think you have to.
Let's say I don't know.
You're required by state law.
Yeah.
I don't know of any artists who aren't pro weed besides maybe Henry Rollins and Ted Nugent.
Yeah. But
Snoop Dogg.
Sure.
Wow. This is either the second or the third album that they did. I don't know why it took so long for them to get it released though. Like they recorded it in 2000. I guess they were just.
And it was just like 4 years.
Yeah.
Maybe they recorded it and they just like decided like, just have it. And then
Or-
eventually.
or-
I would think they're stoners and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
they were
the-
biding their time, playing the
Maybe.
market. Maybe.
True.
I mean, they didn't. It didn't chart at all. Like,
There's
I
a-
mean, the album after this only sold like, I say only, but like they sold like 180,000 copies or something
Wow.
like
But
that.
I mean, as like as a pure musician, do you really go out to make millions of dollars?
no,
No.
not at all. And that's what they're all about. That's why I love this band too. Is they're all about the music over money and everything.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that's all
They
they
just
care
want to
about.
be heard, and that's like
Yeah.
kind of how like a musician should be.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how us
How?
musicians.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, and
That's
these
the
are just like
bond.
normal dudes too. Like if you see them on the street, you know, you wouldn't recognize them. That's why they don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
You know, they want to live normal, comfortable lives because they got some good money now.
Yeah,
yeah.
they still want to
But-
get that money, but
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like, there's a
being
point to it.
unrecognized is a good thing too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all I really had to say about this album. It's just really good album, brought back a lot of good memories, and if you're a guitar player, you definitely need to listen to this album.
Or
because-
bass player.
Or bass player even, yeah,
Slightly
because
stupid.
yeah, the acoustic playing on this album it's unreal, man.
It's badass.
acoustic
really good.
roots.
Yep.
Okay, I'll have to remember.
What's the
that,
album
'cause I
again?
do want to see it
It's Acoustic Roots live and direct.
Okay.
live and direct.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, definitely, man. So now we're gonna time travel.
Oh, we're
to
going
our
to
last
me.
spot.
Oh.
Ian's closing her out.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one short and simple. We're heading to 2014, 2 years ago.
Whoa.
I
I was
we're almost
alive.
going
I was-
back into.
I was so young and beautiful.
I was not driving.
Out of nowhere, I pull a sneaky quick one and be like, "Yeah, so back to 1960."
Yeah, right.
No, we're going to 2014, April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2014.
Hey, that's my cousin's birthday.
What?
Yeah, Nadia.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, keep going.
But yeah, we're doing A Dotted Line by Nickel Creek. I don't know.
Nickel what?
Nickel Creek.
Creek.
Sorry, I was about to fucking like.
Dry the sweat from your
Walking
brow.
out.
Yeah, we're doing Nickel Creek. I don't know if a lot of you guys. Well, I'm looking at you guys, and you guys are giving me the blank stare. So
You said nickel what? No.
Nickel Creek, I haven't heard of them.
yeah, they're not super well known at all. I mean, they've got, what did I read? The 4 major major releases. This is their 6th, and for now, quote unquote, like their last one. They haven't done anything since.
Since 2014.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But even
Wow.
before that, 2014, they were in hiatus for like 7 years. Yeah.
No wonder these guys aren't fucking famous.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they,
I mean-
they are well known
They're
enough.
musicians. Yeah.
But yeah,
Must be
it's
some turmoil.
so after not really.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was like
They're just like,
it was
"Nah, we're
on
good."
good
It's
terms.
like, yo, dude, look at this new game that I got on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
2
It's-
years later.
Yeah.
look it up.
it was basically they're one of those. After 7 years, they left on good terms and whatnot. There's no hard feelings.
That
but
never
they-
happens in a band.
I haven't heard of it. I'm trying
Not
to think
once.
myself. Like, either they're infatuated by a Nintendo machine or they've got their dicks upside some fucking chick's butthole. I don't know where it's going from here.
We put
Hard
dicks
left
next to buttholes here.
But yeah,
Dude, I hope
they-
they're not licking their butthole.
They coincided this release with their 25th anniversary, so they've been around for a while. They're a trio. Chris Thiele, Sarah Watkins, and Sean Watkins. They're brother and sister.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're labeled as quote-unquote progressive acoustic.
Well,
In my mind,
yeah.
it's basically bluegrass in a way.
It sounds good. It sounds good. Bluegrass makes me lead to believe that they're like doing some kind of inner.
yeah, you played a little bit for me earlier. And it's
Yeah.
like those harmonies were
They're-
like, whoo.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons why I love listening to them. Not only are their songs fantastic, but their harmonies are there.
Yeah.
And I mean,
They're powerful.
Yeah,
Shit, I gotta hear them. I haven't heard them.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know these
fantastic.
people from fucking Adam, dude.
yeah, they're good. Chris Thiele, fantastic mandolin player. Man's a genius. He actually got a MacArthur Fellowship in 2012.
Dude.
The MacArthur Fellowship is basically known as the Genius Grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like you can go to college wherever you want or something.
Wow.
He'd already gone to college. Like
Yeah, fuck
he-
college.
Some people have
he was in his 30s. I want to say in his
Mommy
30s when he
day.
got the MacArthur Fellowship. So I mean,
Fuck.
yeah, the man's a genius. I mean,
Yeah.
not only stating that as a fact or anything like that, but I mean, his mandolin playing is phenomenal. I mean,
Skilled. Yeah.
After you saying that, I think I remember seeing a music video for them like years back.
yeah, it's like they
Yeah.
have had a few, successful hits,
It
but I
popped
mean,
out there, but
Yeah.
2 years ago that was their 25th anniversary. They've been playing together
Wow.
since they were kids.
Wow.
And they're absolutely a fantastic trio. Back to this album though.
Not on the radio.
No, not on the radio. But I mean, if you do have a chance to stumble across something, which I did with this one, I had heard Destination, which was the only single off this album. It was fantastic. It was one of those like, what is this? I need to hear this some more. And I
Yeah.
mean, it actually pushed me to buy the album. It was fantastic. But there's not a whole lot on the recording process of this, and I apologize for that. I mean, most of our newer albums that we do, you can barely find a whole lot on them.
Seriously, there was one paragraph for mine.
Yeah,
like,
there wasn't much.
I mean, I look it up and I just try to like sum it up as best as I can.
right.
Yeah. So it's like this album was produced by Eric Valentine, which is funny because you were talking about how your producer, he did all these random things, and then or he did something the artist that sounds similar, and then out of nowhere there's NSYNC.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like with this one. The guy who produced this album, his name's Eric Valentine, and he produced groups like Good Charlotte and Taking Back Sunday and Queens of the Stone Age.
All the friggin' like what do they call it? The Warped Tour.
Yeah,
kids.
but I mean,
Yeah.
then, like, and there's also Queens of the Stone Age on there and Slash and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then out of nowhere, out of left field, you have Nickel Creek, who is essentially bluegrass.
Yeah, and it's like they don't sound anything like Good Charlotte.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age for that
Yeah.
matter.
No, yeah,
that
producers
too.
nowadays, it's crazy. I was just telling Cody just a little bit ago, like, like there are these producers, and they record these, like, they sound like trendy, like, rock stars, but they also, like, they record these, like, pop stars and
Yeah.
stuff, and they get intermingled with all these different people. My cousin was signed with the same producer. The recording that he was recorded by, he had two songs. He's recorded by one guy who recorded Madonna, right?
Wow.
Recorded Madonna. You listen to the song Saints and Shadows by Shinga, and you listen to the raw recording, which Cody and I know. And if I showed you, Ian,
Yeah, I've heard
Chris.
it.
I mean, you've
I've
seen
heard
him
it,
live.
yeah.
It's like you hear the raw recording. It's like, yeah,
It's tough. It's got balls.
You hear the new recording, it's got all sorts of electronica and all this other bullshit to it. I mean, it's not a bad track, and it's got like layered vocals and everything, but
Then you
it's
listen
not
to Material Girl, and that's just like what, the same guy did it?
exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was a part of it. But it's like, anyways, like
Just goes to show you, man. Fucking everybody speaks that same language of money. No
Yeah.
matter who the fuck the artist is,
yeah.
Yeah, but it was just
Sorry.
odd to see, them thrown in with the rest of those artists that this guy has produced. Because
Yeah.
normally producers do stick around with the same, usually around that same genre. But I mean, you do see an occasional NSYNC and Nickel Creek
Yeah.
pop up out of nowhere. But yeah, as far as it goes, I mean, on the charts, it actually debuted number 7 on the Billboard 200 when it first came out.
Not
Yeah. Number 1 on the bluegrass albums for Billboard,
There you
and number 1 on the U.S. folk albums for Billboard as well. The only reason why I included
Notoriety.
the only reason why I included this next thing, their Metacritic score, which it's an accumulation of critics who basically review your music and all that stuff, kind
Right.
of deal. And it's nothing really to go off of. Let the music speak for itself. But I
Right.
mean, I was kind of fascinated with this, where some
Sure.
of the other ones that I've seen weren't as high as this. It received an 82 out of 100,
That's not bad.
which is technically your quote unquote critically acclaimed. This,
Oh yeah, that's
this-
what you can say. Critically acclaimed film. Or
Yeah, you can-
critically
you-
acclaimed album.
let the music speak for itself. Don't let that sway
That's
your judgment.
good
any, but
stuff.
it's definitely something to shoot for. Other than that, the two of my favorite songs on here, One being Destination, and the other one being You Don't Know What's Going On. I was actually talking to Chris earlier about the second one, about how I want to put drums onto it. You got to think that these aren't full band songs. These are, they're a trio with some accompanying bass and random percussion instruments, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, let the music speak for itself. The harmonies are fantastic. The songs are fantastic. It was one of those ones where I couldn't pick out. Well, I mean, I did, obviously, but I mean, you can listen to it all the way through. I would like to say, though, you can skip, I believe it's track number 4. It's called Hayloft.
And it totally sucks.
It's a cover
According
song.
to Ian.
It doesn't totally suck. It's just that it kind of ruined the vibe of the album for me. Whereas you have all these fantastic,
They all
intricate.
fit, and this one doesn't. And
It's
why
like
did they
NSYNC
put
and-
why do they put a
Yeah.
block and a circle fitting? Like,
It was literally one of those, like, you've got these intricate melodies, you have these fantastic harmonies, and then you have this random, like, almost pop song
Yeah.
stuck right.
It's kind of like
in the
what
middle.
happened like with Money for Pink Floyd from Dark Side of the Moon. I don't know if anyone's listened to our first
Yeah,
podcast,
Money.
but like Money was that was
against it, weren't they?
well,
Waters was it?
I don't know. I think it was Gilmore and the rest of the group. But Money wasn't like that's a song that's like bam right in your face, and it doesn't correlate with the rest of the record.
Yeah.
But it was there. It was on side 2 and started side 2, and there
Now
it is.
you can't
know.
imagine the album without it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the same way, except I can definitely imagine this album without it. Like
Yeah,
it's
far
one of
out,
those
dude.
where it
I
kind of
hear you though.
it
Like,
threw
I feel you.
threw a nail into my fucking tire when I heard it, because I really love this album. Don't think of it as like that ruins the album for me. It really doesn't. I can literally know exactly when track 3 ends to skip and go on to track 5.
I feel you, man. Like I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's like there's a chord. Like this is how it works, man. Like when you record a record, like you have to fucking comfortably make it. And if there's a song that you have, like if it doesn't work with the record, like, and you're getting paid all these bucks, you don't put it in there. You wait. Or you single it, like you don't fucking like you don't add it to the record. But
Yeah.
I feel what you're talking about, man. And
But
it's
yeah,
different-
that's my
different
find. Like I said, let the music speak for itself. You can skip Hayloft, and
Unless you like that kind of.
yeah, unless you like
unless
it.
you're into that shit.
But yeah, listen to it. I actually recommend everybody here to take a listen to it. I mean, even if bluegrass really isn't your thing, just give it a gander or an ear, I guess.
Yeah, just give it a good listen.
Yeah, give it a good listen.
give it
listen
a
to the
shot.
harmonies. It's a very uplifting, warm, toning kind of album.
The way I don't know
Yeah.
when I heard like the few things you did play for me off of it, I just heard like that speed picking kind of stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is like metal acoustic almost.
Yeah, and it's bluegrass. That's
acoustic
what,
metal, or should I say?
That's what bluegrass is. Except,
and then awesome harmonies.
the bluegrass came first.
Yeah.
So, but that's
First
it.
there was the grass, and then
That's
the metal upon the
that's
grass.
all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
That sounds like a badass ballad or something.
Yeah. Oh shit. The metal upon the grass. Battlefield. Yeah, it's like something I would say. I don't know. Would that's the kind of song like you would sing about the first battle in was it Braveheart? Like metal upon the grass when he throws the sword in it.
No, that'd be more like a hatchet, and then rip it out of that skull.
Rip it out of the skull. Smash that one dude's head with that warhammer, but he's wearing a helmet, so it's like punk. Everybody remembers that. Well, that's the show. I hope y'all had a great time listening to us, all 4 albums. I certainly had fun. Again, I'm Chris.
I'm in.
Cody. That was Kyle.
That was Kyle. We're Pure
Kyle.
Finds. So now to Mendata. Have a great night. Now we're closed. Enjoy some awesome outro music.